So this is Todd Conaway, and I just returned from the e-learning conference in Vegas yesterday. And one of the things I tweeted out somewhere near the end was, instead of having everybody, all the presenters, share a PowerPoint presentation, how about if they shared a short screencast as kind of a summary or highlights of their presentation? That way you could get the PowerPoint and you could actually hear them kind of anecdotally describe some of the information on the PowerPoint. So since that was something I thought might be a good idea, I figure I better live up to it and do one myself. So this is it. I also, maybe unlike some folks presenting, I use a website to present rather than just the PowerPoint. I have a website and I have a PowerPoint that's kind of embedded into it. So here you're looking at the website, which is 9x9x25.wordpress.com, and you can go there after you watch this, or you can stop this and go there right now. It has everything that I presented, and the advantage of this, of course, is that unlike PowerPoint, it's got tons of stuff. It has videos, it has links, you can kind of make it look pretty sometimes, but it's all free. It's a free WordPress.com site. So since that was my suggestion, here we go. So I have been involved for the last couple of years, along with my colleagues, in offering what we call the 9x9x25 challenge. So essentially that is, we're offering our faculty the opportunity to write about teaching and learning for 9 weeks. And the 9x9x25 is 9 weeks long, 9 pieces of writing, and a minimum of 25 sentences for each piece of writing. So we just completed our second year this past December, and we had 16 faculty do it the first time, and we had 26 this last year. So we actually kind of grew a little bit. And you can see here all of the writing done by our faculty by selecting the Yavapai 9x9x25. That takes you to where we do our writing here at Yavapai College. So we use a WordPress blog. The faculty write on their own blogs that they create, and we assist them doing that. But we use a tool called Feed WordPress. It's a plugin for WordPress blogs that allows you to go grab other people's posts and bring them into your blog. So the benefit for us is that for our faculty, they just have to go to our this site, our TELS web letter, and they can see all of the writing being done over the course of those 9 weeks. That seemed to work pretty well for us, but as I'll show you, some other schools are doing something slightly different. So on our website here, the email that we sent them is here, the Triple Dog Dare. This is kind of how we framed our little adventure. We literally triple dog dare them. I think that the word challenge or dare is perhaps a better way to phrase what we're actually trying to do, because it's not mandatory. They're not getting paid. It's completely volunteer. And we're making it difficult, so it is a challenge. So this is actually the email that everybody got back on the first year that we did this. And you can see that we left it very loose. There's, all we want them to do is write about teaching and learning. We did, in fact, give them Ben & Jerry's, a pint of Ben & Jerry's each for completing the first week. And we gave them other rewards, certificates signed by the president. We gave them a potted plant from our horticulture department. We gave them books. We had EDUCAUSE, the League for Innovation in the Community College, ITC Network. We had several vendors provide us with small gifts, books, T-shirts, cell phone holders, all kinds of things. And so the people who were participating, after they wrote, they got a small reward. And I'll talk about that in a minute. We got really lucky because a lot of these other schools that have done this did it in different ways. And so real quickly I'm going to show you how those were done. So in the Northwestern Michigan College, they used a WordPress blog, but they used theirs a little bit differently. They didn't use Feed WordPress. They had their faculty create their own sites on a multi-user instance. So you can see all their posts here. Again, they finished it 2 years in a row, and they did a 4x4x16 instead of 9x9x25. So they did it a little bit differently. Foothills College in California is currently doing theirs right as we speak, or as I'm making this video, and they're in week 5. You can see that theirs, they have their faculty all writing on whatever blog or platform they want, but they're pulling them in this way and kind of displaying them a little bit differently, so they're not using Feed WordPress. That's how Foothills College is doing it. Glendale Community College is also currently running theirs. They are using Feed WordPress, and their site is just amazing. It looks like this. So those are some different looks at it. You can see our final reflections on the far right, so if you want to hear what faculty had to say about the 2 years in a row that we have done it, there's a whole bunch of reflections there. And the great folks over in Maricosta Community College in California, they're doing something slightly different, but it's similar. It is asking their faculty to reflect on their practice, and they've been doing this now for since the beginning of this year. It's not quite as organized as ours was in terms of each week they have to do X amount, and they're not giving out the rewards. But I think that what we were always after, too, was just simply faculty reflecting on their craft of teaching. And there's, a million ways to do that. So that's kind of what we did. We dared them to write about teaching and learning. And it went over gangbusters. So real quickly, I'm just going to tell you here why I think it works. And we'll go with that. So first slide here is that we framed it as a challenge. It wasn't mandatory again, or it was a challenge, and I think that that really worked for us. It made them step up to the plate, I think, a little bit, and it was difficult. 9 weeks long. We had people saying do it shorter, but we kept the 9, and I think it worked out really well. So appreciation is an interesting thing. A token, as you know, as an employee anywhere, when you are appreciated with anything, it feels good. So whether it was a potted plant or Ben & Jerry's or whatever, I think that that helps it work. We know that we want intrinsic motivation, but a little extrinsic motivation certainly can help. I'm pretty sure that money would have never been enough to get this done. If you would have asked the teachers to do it and you'd pay them $300 or something, I'm pretty sure that would not have worked. For me, as kind of the lowly instructional designer, it really helped. I took these gifts to them every week, and I talked to them about all kinds of things while I was standing there in their office, giving them their Ben & Jerry's or whatever. There's no limit to how helpful a healthy relationship can be in my position as an instructional designer, because the things I need most are things like trust. And so anytime I can get in front of the faculty and talk with them is a good thing. So we scheduled this pretty well. It just happened that it was kind of right between the semester, because it was 9 weeks long. We started about 3 weeks after the semester began and ended a couple weeks before it ended. That was a perfect timing. It was long enough that the 9 weeks really felt like a huge accomplishment. I mean, it wasn't a 1 week or 1 hour long thing. I mean, 9 weeks is a long time, and everybody felt like it was a lot of work, and that because it was a lot of work, when they were finished, it was a bigger sense of accomplishment. So we also feel like we gave them a platform to operate from on the internet. With so much work being done in learning management systems, we think it's really important that faculty spread out a little bit and see that there are other avenues out there for distributing work, for having a place to write. This could be the domain of one's own conversation certainly comes up. But we felt like it was for them, it was also a springboard for conversation. So people were having conversations on their sites. That's a very different thing than in a threaded conversation in a Blackboard course. So we gave them a place to work from. It felt like it was theirs. They could change it, make it look the way they wanted. And those things were really valuable. You know, everybody likes a little recognition. That's a good thing. Peer pressure works. I mean, we asked them initially for 25 sentences. By the end, many people were writing in excess of 50 sentences. You know, people saw the quality of what their colleagues were doing. So while they were all great at the beginning too, they seemed to increase in quality and in length as time went on. These were outward facing, so they were all done in public. Central Piedmont Community College in North Carolina has run theirs for 2 years, and that was all done within Blackboard. Not public facing, and that's fine too. I don't think where it is necessarily what we're looking for, but in our case and in the others I showed you, a lot of those are public facing and outward facing, which I think also is something that we need to role model for our students. You know, we definitely, the team we had, the folks that participated felt like they were a tighter community, and you can read that in all of their final reflections. But I want to look at outward facing again, because to me this is one of the biggest parts of this puzzle, was that, you know, so much of schooling is focused inwards. It's inside a classroom or inside an LMS, and I think that part of what I'm learning, certainly as somebody trying to find good things to read and inform my capacity as an instructional designer, I look towards teachers who write about teaching and learning. And if they don't share that stuff out in a public space, it's hard to get to. So those are some of the reasons why we think that this worked. Below this is my colleague Carly Way's PowerPoint presentation that she presented. And then this video here is a 5-minute awesome video by two colleagues up in Michigan from Northwestern Michigan College, explaining how they did theirs and some great interviews with faculty about why they thought it was valuable. So in closing here, I just want to show you, this is an article that I wrote for the League for Innovation about this project. The next two here, this was an article for Faculty Focus that originally was one of our faculty's writing in our 9x9x25, and he sent it off to Faculty Focus, and they published it just this last January. The ITC folks published a bunch of our faculty writing, and you can see all those here. So what started initially as just kind of 16 of our faculty writing for our colleagues ended up being something where our faculty not only wrote for our college and others who read it, but they actually had that work printed or published by these other folks, and what a great thing that turned out to be. So anyway, and there's some other links over here on the left to some of us. So that's my presentation. I don't know how many minutes we're at, but it's as good as a PowerPoint, and in fact it includes a PowerPoint. And so I'm going to put this on YouTube, and I'm going to tweet it back out with the ITC folks and see where it goes. Thanks.